What is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite, the most exciting wrestling podcast in the world, regularly scheduled Hostilities, with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Yvonne DeBoard, and with your host, the current, for another week and a half,
Yep, exactly.
RSH champion.
Sorry, did you mispronounce year?
Josh DeBoard. Welcome to the show this evening. We have a very exciting show planned between all the things going down between the Usos and the Bloodline and KO and Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. And also, we are breaking down our favorite top 5 wrestling, I would say, I guess, WWE/WWF video games, because nobody picked WCW versus Nitro or that one weird TNA game. So,
Nobody
with
did.
Kurt Angle on the cover.
I think so, yeah.
I didn't know they had a video game. That's
I think AJ Styles is in it. I never played it, but I remember when it came out.
Well, I should have known.
Yeah, I mean, it was back when TNA was trying to be big, with like when Hulk Hogan bought it or came in and became the GM or whatever the fuck that was. The night that I stopped watching it.
That makes sense. I can understand that.
Yeah, we dug up some. Yvonne brought in the stack. I only found one.
I did.
The rest of them must be at my
Here's
parents'
the
house.
rest, and here's the 3 on my table.
I would have the PS2 game, man. That's like going back. I was a PS2 fiend. Like, it's weird seeing it now because it doesn't feel that long ago. And I think I just noticed something. I think SmackDown versus Raw 06 actually had online broadband only. So I think this might have been the very first wrestling online game. This one right here. So yeah. So what we got?
Shared.
I like it.
What I missed.
Video
Oh
games.
shit! All that sharing for no fucking people. Okay.
For no people.
Okay. All that typing for nothing.
We did have a couple of people here, then they fucking left. So that's what happens.
That's on them.
What are you gonna do? So what we got going is I just watched Raw and SmackDown today, both of them today. I gotta say, lots of female wrestling, I thought.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you would.
I know. Compared to AEW, they don't get enough of that. Just saying, just throwing that out there.
I am digging Rhea, though. She was cracking me up.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She was talking to Charlotte Flair, then Charlotte Flair kicked a dude in the face, no shoes on. That was
that
gross.
was part of it.
Yeah.
Rhea and Charlotte beat the hell out of each other.
Makes sense.
I like it. I dig it.
This has been a good Rhea Ripley short.
That was all SmackDown.
Yeah, so SmackDown. Kevin and Sammy reunited. I mean,
I
that was
cried.
the biggest thing
tears,
that
I
happened this
did.
week.
They hugged.
Yeah.
I
The
teared.
Titans are going to go with it. So
What music was?
the Titanic. Swing the on. All right, we'll go on.
I didn't see that.
They put that with everything.
That's awesome.
They played it to the part where she hits that high note that as soon as he hugs them. Very emotional shit.
As soon as
That's
he hugged
awesome.
him, I cried.
So, on a scale, between those two reuniting and Shawn Michaels and Triple H reuniting back in 06, who did it better? Because they both hug. I guess Triple H and Hunter, or Shawn, they just did the high five thing. KO and Sammy hugged, but what's more emotional? I know when I was back in 06, I was more emotional for Triple H and HBK, but I was more invested back then.
Yeah.
I got emotional for both.
I can't remember how invested I was back then.
Yeah, I think
I can only remember how invested I am now.
Right.
Yeah,
But storyline wise, this is better.
this one.
But I mean, they both are very similar because I could bitch that. Well, they broke up. They've
It's
been
similar. Yeah.
Triple H and Shawn broke up 20 fucking times. And
Oh,
got, like,
They really only broke up only once.
well,
When Triple H, because Shawn Michaels got hurt and then he was gone for 4 years, came back, Triple H turned on him, and then they had basically a living feud for 4 years. And I don't think they ever really teamed up during those 4-year periods. And they got back together in 06. I don't think they've ever had a feud since I can really recall.
oh no.
So they're less back and forth than KO and Sammy, but at the same time, Shawn was out for 4 years, during that whole friendship. So
I wish Charlotte was out for 4 years.
what are you going to do?
Gunther, I have a graphic for this. Gunther,
Nice.
Sheamus, and
Which we called it triple threat. We did.
Bam. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew.
Love it.
Sheamus pins Drew, becomes a Grand Slam champion. Gunther moves on to bigger things.
I like it.
Spoiler. But
Just a spoiler.
that's how that's going to go.
That's
He's
how
been
it's-
chasing that IC title his whole career. He needs it to be a Grand Slam champion.
Absolutely.
He'll get it
I
here.
say give it to him.
And he
I
finally
agree.
pins Drew because Drew's beat him every fucking
Every
time they
time.
fought.
Mhm.
Yep, I
So
agree
this
with all
is how
that.
you pay all that
Sheamus'
off.
time. Yep.
I agree. So
That's
storyline
gonna be a
wise,
hard hitting ass match too.
oh, it
It's
will
gonna
be.
be a great
The Banger Bros against Gunther.
banger, bro.
What was Gunther thinking? Like, let's say I know it's all scripted or whatever, but like, best case scenario, let's say it wasn't scripted and Gunther did that, attacked them both while they're. What did he think was going to happen? And he's like, then he goes, actually, he gets all surprised when they announce it. It's like, come on, Gunther, be smarter than that ring
He's from
general.
UK. They're not that smart.
That's a good point.
That is
That's a good point.
That is-
Math's not their strong suit. No, that's
That's a
all I
good
got.
point. That's a good
And
point.
then, I mean, Dominic's must see TV for me right
Must
now.
be, yeah, must see.
Yeah, like he just keeps
Absolutely.
calling Ray out. He said, I had the fucking car thing drove me insane. He said, all my friends had Porsches. All I had was a Benz. It's like, you little fuck.
And not even the good one.
Not even the
Yeah, he
good
said,
one.
not even the
Whatever
There's a
model.
bad Benz.
Yeah.
Like, I'm driving around the car with fucking duct tape on the side. They're, oh, I got a bad BMW. It's like, what?
I love it. When I was 16, my fucking speedometer didn't work and my gas gauge didn't work. So I was just guessing my way through life.
Yeah, he's become very, very good.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree. I love it. He even had a good
And he said on, well, we're about to go to Raw, but he said on Raw last night, or whatever fucking night it was, I'm just going to keep coming for you till you agree. I guess I'll talk to mom and the family Friday when they're all in attendance.
I mean, what's going on
Because
Friday?
he's fighting LA night. It's in Vegas where they're from, where they live.
Oh, cool.
So the whole family will be
there.
ringside. So this is going to be the big angle where Dom finally gets Ray. Maybe he'll hit his mom. Like,
That's what I was thinking.
Like, I'll beat the shit.
Yep.
Rhea beats the shit out of mom.
Or
Yeah.
she hits her,
Like,
something like that.
it's gotta involve the family.
He's going to have to do something.
It's
Maybe
not-
he
yeah.
makes his sister make out with another wrestler. Since maybe
It's
maybe
gonna-
Rhea
yeah.
kicks. Hold on. Maybe Rhea Ripley kicks his sister's ass because
She's
she
dating Buddy Murphy.
dates Buddy
Yeah,
Murphy.
she did.
And she was dating Buddy Murphy on screen. So maybe she wants to kick her ass.
Oh, she dates Buddy. Oh, I see.
Buddy
I gotcha.
Murphy's her real life
Gotcha.
dude.
Boyfriend.
Gotcha.
Remember they were on screen together.
Kinda.
Buddy like loved the Mysterio. It was COVID era.
Gotcha.
Buddy was like dating her.
I remember
whatever.
that.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, so Rhea
Something's gonna happen.
don't want cock block. So
Something's gonna happen to where maybe his mom gets hit, and it's gonna push Ray to the limit. Like, heck, you got a match now.
oh
Or
dude,
he's just-
everybody
he's gonna snap. I can see it.
And maybe he hits his mom on accident. Like maybe he swings
Yeah.
for Ray and Ray dodges it and he smacks his mom. And then
That's what's gonna do. it.
Ray goes off on him.
Like, yeah, you got your match. You got what you want. You happy now? Something like that.
Yeah, I dig it. Kind of like when Jericho punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face on accident.
I remember. I remember people talking about that.
That's back in like 08 or something.
Oh
I
my
remember watching it in Raw in my dorm room. He just fucking clocks her. And apparently it was an accident. It wasn't meant to happen. But hey, what happens?
Maybe's out there starting shit on Twitter right now.
Uh-oh.
He'll be fun to have next week.
What's
We had
going-
him and Del Rio.
It's gonna be a
He keeps
hopping.
posting Goldberg to AEW memes because Goldberg said he
God,
isn't against
no.
it, and his contract's been up.
It's
He's unemployed now. He's an
Yeah,
unemployed loser right now.
So
Exactly. Well, exactly.
anyway,
Please not AW.
Raw.
God.
So next week is our predictions already for Mania.
we got Del
Already.
Rio and
Man.
Bebe.
Time's flying. That's cool.
Then we got Cy for the Fallout. If he remembers.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. I'll be tired of that because I was supposed to take that Monday off after Mania and I forgot to put it in and now it's too late. So I'll be sleepy on Monday. But
Oh shit. Well, KO and Sammy they didn't waste any fucking time. It let off SmackDown or let off Raw. They made the
Perfectly.
match right off the bat.
Yep.
No surprise really here.
No, we knew it was coming.
Yep.
But when was
Um,
gonna happen?
this one's for Chuck. So how pumped are you for Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins? Chuck. He knocked him out again.
Yeah, I fast forward through
I'm
that segment.
So, I wanted to so bad, but Josh was like, "We gotta watch." I'm like, if I was watching alone, I would. I can't.
This is what you
stand it.
guys miss. You skip segments, and like that's
I
the match you
didn't.
guys won't pick right.
Well, usually I would
I
watch
don't.
it, but I'm not getting paid today to watch it, so I just fucking
I'm for
fast forward.
consensual segments.
I want Seth to stomp him.
So all
like,
of them.
I want Seth to stomp him.
Well,
Like,
we-
I mean, that's the
you know
build
what's
up.
gonna
He's going to
happen.
knock him out again high
I know.
next week, and
Yeah.
then Seth will win.
sick of him not.
Oh, you think Seth's gonna win?
I know Seth's going to win.
Seth's gonna win?
They
Oh,
didn't
no.
make Seth baby Cody along, take shit for Roman all year to lose to Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
No way. It's not happening.
I hope you're right.
I'm picking.
Logan Paul's not winning.
He's not.
I do love the rumor of him versus Cena at SummerSlam.
Oh,
That's probably gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
Probably. Cena's on board for it.
another thing I have to fast forward through.
I get the business part with Logan Paul. I really get it. It just
Sure.
I just can't.
His prime drink's apparently amazing.
I probably won't ever try it.
Make it stop.
I don't know what
please.
it is. My buddy texted me today. He said the orange flavor is amazing because you can't find it nowhere.
Oh,
It's
really?
sold out of everywhere.
Oh, nice. I didn't know he has like a drink.
Yeah, it's the one he carries out the fucking prime bottle everywhere he
Oh,
goes.
cool.
That's his
That's just I
fucking
got you.
thing. Yeah. Well,
Cool.
he's up
Whatever.
Yeah.
Promoting it.
promoting it.
Cool. I'm sure it's good.
All right. Then after what the last segment was great. We'll talk about it in a second. but Cody dethroning Roman does not feel right.
It doesn't. For some reason,
It should be Sami. I feel like I just can't get over it.
It should be either Sami, Solo, or Jay.
I
I almost feel it should be Jay.
I agree.
I mean,
It
at this
started
point,
with Jay.
It's starting with Jay right
And now he's even pulling Jay aside, and
I
he's
agree.
being real weird with Jay. And he's keeping Solo close, which makes me think
Something.
he fears Solo a little bit.
Sure,
He does.
he's a big dude.
And I think we got Solo and Cody next week.
I think
That's
so.
what they teased.
Something just feels off right
So
here.
Cody doesn't feel like the guy.
I agree.
He don't.
They really screwed up with the momentum they had going with Sami. And then I agree with you. It should be either Jay or Sami.
I agree.
But Cody just feels forced.
Well,
Force.
and
it's the time off. If
Yeah.
he didn't miss fucking 5 months,
Sure,
Yeah.
that they could have he could have already been a little bit of the story.
sure. But that's not what happened. And
No,
you
and
know,
they're doing a good job
and with
Yeah.
that
building
time,
this like within the next the 2 months they have.
I mean, yeah,
the
they're,
promos were really good last. Every
They
segment
were
they've
very
had
good.
face to face has been very good.
they're doing the best they can because they decided to not change their plans. But Sami got so over organically. I just
He
feel like they
did.
missed an opportunity with that.
I agree with that.
But it is what it is. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Cody just doesn't feel.
Don't
This
I
is
right.
feel like a month ago we'd all be
Something
picking
just
Cody
don't
Rhodes,
feel right about it.
I mean,
but this
I-
doesn't.
They're so close to 1,000. I feel like Cody's still not really all the way over. I feel like they'll let Reigns get to 1,000 and then maybe have Jay or maybe even Sami. But that being said, so do we think that Sami and KO are going to take the tag titles off the Usos? It's like I feel like either they all three lose or none of them lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
Fuck, you're right.
That's tough.
It's just like it'd be weird if the Usos lose their titles but Reigns retains, so we still have a bloodline.
No, because it could cause further tension.
Sure, it could.
Mhm.
Like
To
I did my
where
part.
at Backlash
Yep.
in Puerto Rico, hosted by Bad Bunny, Roman could lose his belt.
Is that real?
That's where Backlash is at. They
You
got
go
rid of
from Logan
WrestleMania
Paul to Bad
Backlash,
Bunny.
This is
Come on.
Backlash.
and now they're going to. It's just Backlash like it used to be,
Sure.
but it's in Puerto Rico, and Bad Bunny is hosting.
Guess we gotta have Bad Bunny there, I guess.
Well, I mean,
Oh, God help
you know,
us.
Puerto Rico's his place.
That's his location.
As long as he stays
Remember
with Big
Gender Mania and wherever the fuck he's from? I forget.
Gendermania.
No.
Remember they
Oh,
went to
God.
fucking. They put the belt on him, and they went to fucking his homeland, and he was like
I
the
don't.
biggest fucking icon. There was millions of people running around the streets wherever the fuck he's from.
I don't.
That was the whole reason they put the strap on him. And Vince was like, "This is a great run," and just kept it on him for like 4 months.
Bad Bunny had a belt?
No, Gender.
Oh, Ginger Mahal.
Jinder
Oh,
Mahal.
India. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's from
Well,
India.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
okay
Remember
not
they
to
said
remember
my
that.
bad, not Bad Bunny.
Yep.
But Gender. So it's like the same thing. Bad
Gotcha.
Bunny. It's all his people.
It's okay not to remember.
They'll show
Gender.
up to see him because they. I don't even know if they got wrestling in Puerto Rico.
I mean,
Bad Bunny will be there. It's like, okay, I'll go.
Oh, no.
whatever. I mean, I'll still watch Super Review. I'm
So
not
will
gonna. I won't.
Me
I
too.
won't protest like I will these Saudi shows. But
we get the business part. We just don't want it to.
Then they added a bunch. So before we get to the video game part, Fatal 4-Way. Oh shit, let me take the Cody.
Which I put a thing on Twitter about. I'm sick of seeing Liv Morgan and all these tag teams, and a lot of people like it.
I like Raquel.
Raquel, this don't fit her at all.
I agree. That's a weird tag team.
This is their way to get these people on the show
I get
because
it.
the Andre the Giant Battle Royal is not a thing
I-
anymore, and that used to be
yeah.
everybody's on-screen WrestleMania
Yeah.
payday.
That makes sense.
So they're trying to get as many people on screen as possible. It's whatever. It gives me a time to go shit during WrestleMania.
Well, it's a 2-night event. They got to do something.
Yeah, so
I mean,
each night put
it
it right in the
makes
middle of the
sense,
show,
yeah.
and boom, my bathroom and or go to the gas station break time. It's perfect.
I like it.
I could care less. But anyway, then this,
Yep.
the
That'll be
triple
good.
threat.
That'll be a banger.
Then the men's 4-way has been announced.
I like it.
Street Profits, Ricochet, Braun Strowman, the Alpha Academy, Otis is now part of Maximum Male Models.
He
apparently.
is. He sure is.
And
He's-
then the
he's
Viking
getting-
Raiders.
He's getting pedicures now. He's the real
Otis,
deal
I
now.
think is his name. If you
Otis.
pronounce it properly.
I couldn't even begin.
Getting pedicures and stuff. He's getting the whole
Otis.
treatment.
Brock and Omos, their weigh-in is this week on Raw.
Yep.
Oh
See
boy.
if Omos can throw him over there correctly this time.
Right. That
We'll
was
see.
that was badly done.
That cracked me up last week.
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't do that. Right.
Becky and these two old women are fighting Damage Control.
Old
Talk about
women.
forced. This feels forced as well.
It
It is.
does,
Well,
yeah.
they canceled the round. They altered their Rousey plan, so I'll much
Which-
rather have
yeah,
this
I agree.
than Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler beating Damage Control for the tag titles.
Yes,
I'm very happy Ronda Rousey's not
leaving
around.
Ronda Rousey out anything.
So she's not going to be at the. I mean,
She has no matches.
good.
all right. I'll take that.
She hasn't been on SmackDown in a fucking month.
Good.
So
Good.
Edge and Balor, and it was
Uh-oh.
announced on Raw.
Uh-oh.
The
Yeah.
Demon Balor
He
will
wants
be
the
at
Demon
WrestleMania.
Balor.
He
Nice.
says he's not
Love
fighting
it.
Finn. He won't show up for Finn. He said he's showing up for his demon.
I love it.
I saw that.
So
I
he
did-
said, "Don't show up as Finn."
I dig it. So we'll get Edge, and we called this a while ago. It's
Yeah.
got to
We
be
did.
Edge. You know, the
Brood Edge. He'll
Brood
come out with the
Edge,
old. Yeah, this will
Yep.
be. It's a mid card match. This is insane.
Love it.
Yeah,
This is insane. This is going to be like at the middle of the show on
Yeah.
one of the nights. It's like, how do you divide? There's 14
Right.
matches right now.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
that's a lot.
There's 7 a night.
I heard that the
I think they're scrapping Bray
probably
because he got ill, I guess, and that's why he's been
Probably.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But he still might attack somebody because they've
There
been
you go.
showing his picture. So when they go to zoom out on these pictures, like the one you guys see on the screen, at the bottom it's like Hollywood. So they're at a movie theater. So the posters, Bray's been in weird ones, like he's right next to Alexa in one.
I seen that.
During Seth and Logan Paul, he's right by Seth Rollins.
That's weird.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Then he's right by Logan Paul. That's like, is Bray gonna come out and murder Logan Paul?
I'd be okay with that.
Like-
Me too. Not the murder part, but attack him.
I'll do
Speaking
that
of,
part.
I didn't even mean to do this, but there it is.
Nice.
Asuka and Bianca.
Yep.
They did the whole "can they beat coexist" thing, which whatever.
I fast forwarded through that match. You won.
Bianca, they did.
Cool. Did they coexist?
Yes, and then
Yeah.
Asuka
They
kicked
did.
her in the
Then
face.
Asuka kicked her in the
nice.
face,
All right, cool.
which is normally
The match I'm
how
probably
it
most
goes.
excited
Me
for,
too.
honestly, even though it's a foregone conclusion who's winning this.
Be a good one.
But
though.
It's gonna be a good one.
yeah,
Be fun.
Theory's gonna come out of this fucking looking like a star.
Absolutely.
And Rhea and Charlotte.
I heard that's main eventing the first night.
They want to do that, and they said it's politics backstage is why.
Well, that's fucking lame. It should be
It's-
KO and Sammy, but whatever.
I'm excited for
I
this
guess
match because
men
Rhea
having the
Ripley.
main event of both nights is sexist.
Well, whatever.
It-
It's the better
I
stuff.
agree.
I mean, to be fair, Charlotte has a dick, so it's only one
I
woman.
knew you
so
were gonna say
that's how they balance
I
that
knew
out.
it.
Well, the Bloodline is the most interesting thing going on right now.
Yeah.
So they should main event both
I agree
nights.
with that.
But whatever, Charlotte. I know that
This
you-
one is the most exciting
She
women's
needs it.
matches.
She needs it. She doesn't get enough
Out of all the
publicity.
women's matches on this card, this is the most
And
exciting.
there it is. Look
one.
how Sammy's so proud
Look
of
at
himself.
that. Look at that cool poster. I love it.
He said, "Fuck you."
I like it.
KO
Love
shirt's
it.
on
That's
backwards.
noticed. That's like, why is that reversed? It's like
Shit.
Sammy's isn't.
I love
Sammy's
it.
like, "Yeah, this is my shit."
He is proud of himself, isn't he?
He
And
is
Roman
proud.
and Cody,
That'll be a good match.
hosted by
Miz is a good host.
Miz.
I like
Well, he's
it.
awesome.
He is awesome.
So
It fits him perfectly on the hosting.
yeah, that is the card for next week. Del Rio from Wrestling Nerds and
Nerds of Wrestling.
Nerds of wrestling.
Oh, whatever.
He's like Orange Cassidy.
He's
whatever.
from the at everyone Facebook post
He's from,
Right.
like Orange
where
Cassidy.
he adds
wherever.
everybody and pisses everybody off. Then Bebe is starting shit on Twitter
He
for
is.
Wrestle Buddy. He's on there telling him Goldberg's on AEW. That's all I've been seeing.
I hope.
I felt bad the other night. So Justin Del Rio and I are both in a Scream group together. I didn't realize it, but
I didn't realize scream groups were a thing.
yeah,
I
but
didn't
I was
either.
drunk the other night, believe it or not. And Justin posted about the chick in Scream 5. They killed a girl in Scream 5.
Mm.
And like he posted a picture of her and said how much he liked her. I didn't realize he posted. I just saw that post. I
Oh,
was like,
shoot.
"Fuck this!" I was like, "She was the worst killer." Whatever. Just talking massive shit about that post. And the next morning, I see it was him who posted it.
Oh, shoot.
I was like, "Oh,
Whoops.
let's give him some shade."
Hey,
But yeah,
being honest, can't help it.
we'll talk next week about it. Yeah.
Grayson Waller going to Gargano's house,
That was all. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
messing with his
Messing
talking
with
to his kid. Now he's wearing his wife's
What shirt?
old indie t-shirts.
Oh,
He
nice.
said, "I bought me a new shirt for my B-Day, winky face."
That's how
So
you
he
do
went to
that.
his house and beat the
He
shit out of him.
did. He really did.
And then on last night, Gargano, I fell asleep at like 10 last night. Right after darts, I came home and fell asleep.
Nice. Did
But-
you guys win?
Yeah.
Nice.
I threw probably the best I've ever thrown in my life.
Hell yeah.
Literally.
That's what's up.
But he said Gargano challenged him to an unsanctioned match. So anything goes wherever. So
He
that's
has to
going to
be-
happen at Stand and Deliver.
So Waller's going to sign it next week.
Yeah. So
Gargano
next week they're
has to be
face to
banned.
face.
He wants Gargano to be banned from the
Yeah,
building.
Gargano's not allowed to be at the signing or the match that isn't on.
That's awesome. So are they having the NXT show on a Saturday?
Stand and Deliver is at noon.
At noon on
Noon,
Saturday?
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I remember
It'll
had
be
it on
from
last year.
noon to
Last year we
3.
watched it.
And then it gives you a nice 5-hour bump into a Mania.
Mania.
It works out because I get paid. I don't have a
Just
shit ton
got
of bills
paid.
next weekend.
Hell
There's
yeah.
nothing sports wise on except the Final Four, and that's I can multi TV
There
it.
hasn't been a lot of sports basketball.
Yeah, I'll get paid that weekend too, which is good because I'm fucking broke right now. But I think I get paid that weekend.
Yep. Next,
So, I'll
that's
have
my
plenty
big
of-
week, so it'll be
Plenty of booze money that
I can't believe
weekend.
it's going to be almost April. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
This month has went by fast.
It has. It's going by too fast.
Already Mania, Stand and Deliver. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mania should be fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Stand and Delivers are always good.
I don't think it's going to be as good as last year. Because last year, think about last year, it was actually really, really loaded last year for whatever
Mhm.
reason. maybe Vince knew it was his last Mania, so he had to go all out with
Go
it.
out.
Oh, I think he did know.
And
Yeah.
Triple H's first Mania too.
So
So we'll see.
this one, I mean, it'll be good. I
will.
think they're just kind of doing it now, and then obviously the big one is going to be next year, or
Yeah.
maybe the year after, when it's WrestleMania 40, whatever number this year. I think this is 39 this year, right? So next
39.
year is going to be
Ooh.
huge when they do the 40-year
Oh, yeah.
anniversary. But yeah, this should be a good show. I'm excited for next week's predictions.
39.
I'm excited to get that championship belt back.
One of us on this side's getting it. That's all me and Chuck can agree on. Is that part
Walking out, RSH champion.
out of Hollywood?
Cool. Anything else happen? Or are we ready to go on to the video games?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Hell yeah. Cool, cool.
Who's going first?
You guys go. For
Whatever.
You guys are more educated
going-
on games than me.
Well, I'm
guys.
going last.
Cool. I'll go first.
Hey, who's this? Anthony Charles. Okay, 1 p.m.
Cool.
Stand over. Oh.
Now, is that Eastern Standard Time? Because that's what matters.
We're in Ohio.
Right. But yeah, cool. So 1 p.m. Thank you, sir, for that information for NXT's show, Stand and Deliver.
The one
next
time you
Saturday.
actually might be like, oh, it's noon. I'm bored.
I'm bored.
What's on? Oh, NXT.
Well, last year I had it on. I do declare.
Well, you'll have Breaker and Mello.
That'd be a great.
It's the biggest match in NXT so far of the new
Waller
brand.
and Gargano.
Waller, Gargano. The women's match is all fucking
They're
weird.
doing a ladder for the women's. There's 4 women for the match.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ladder match.
Cool.
Is Chase fighting?
Yeah.
Who's he fighting?
Joe Gacy.
He's fighting Joe Gacy.
No, hold on.
Yeah, Andre
Chase
Chase, that
U
guy I
was-
showed you in the Chase U shirt.
Yeah,
He
I
just
remember him.
screams dumbass at people.
He was
Yep.
screaming last.
Oh,
night.
dude, he's fucking great still, and he wrestles in high top Nikes
And
and a sweater vest. Like
Awesome. I saw that match that he was in before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched
the
that
tag
match.
match.
And it says you.
I thought
Chase
they
on
should
it.
have won.
Yeah, I agree. That's who I picked on my predictions
I
for
think
that.
they got him.
He's so over when he gets to the main roster and you see like 2,000 seats and all red Chase U shirts.
You know
it's
who
gonna be
that's for.
so weird on Raw or SmackDown
That's
because that gimmick will translate
Yeah,
to the
oh,
main
yes.
roster. I'm sure.
I believe it
I
would.
think he does.
He goes up to the Miz because the Miz is the guy now
Yeah.
Sure.
that you just beat up on.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Chase you, and then there you go.
Fuck you, Chase you.
That's what the Miz is.
I'll look. I
Like
think he does.
they bring
I'll
in
look and
people,
see.
but Miz has that. Like
He does.
you can't fuck up the Miz. Like,
He has the it factor.
Them 2 stand off. That'd be awesome
Yeah, I like that.
because they're very similar.
WWE was expecting Randy Orton to show up for WrestleMania.
I heard Backlash. So WrestleMania is even better.
Yes. Very
Hell yeah. I read a thing today where they said at least by Backlash he should be
good.
making an appearance. But hey, if they upped it, that's what's up.
It's even more better. That's even better.
I agree. I miss me some Randy and Riddle. It's been a minute.
I know.
Some Randall.
So we know Styles is injured, so Orton's coming back. And Riddle, we don't know when he'll be back. But
Cool. All right, I'll go first with the video games. So Chuck's top 5 wrestling video games. Now, we kind of discussed this before the show went live. A lot of our picks are going to be from nostalgia, for one. And we're all 3 a little bit different generations. I'm a little bit older than Josh, and Josh is a little older than Yvonne. So mine are more N64, PS2 days,
there you go.
because that's what I grew up with. So number 5, however, is neither of those. Number 5 is WWE 2K19 for the PS3.
And you picked it because of the cover boy,
Well,
right?
and I'm lying. That's
Me
not
too.
PS3. It's the
Me
PS4.
too. Yeah.
So of course, the
And look
cover
who's on
boy.
the cover.
Oh, shit.
Our favorite wrestler. That's what I do with mine too.
Yep, so this is the only PS4 game I own for wrestling, and it's actually the first one that I bought since WWE 2013, which I believe is on Yvonne's list later.
Yep.
So we'll let you talk about that. But I like that one a lot, and I just didn't buy any games because I got busy and I was poor. So I bought 2K19. So I wanted to get I got the itch to give somebody the Styles Clash one day.
I love it.
So I went to Walmart, bought that bitch for like $20, and I played the hell out of it. I don't really recall any features on it that I liked that stand out to me outside the other video games, but I just thought it had a good gameplay for not being THQ, which is what I was used to, and I just like giving motherfucker Styles Clashes.
Can't do nothing wrong with
So yeah, I thought that was a good one. Just had a really good gameplay compared to a few other ones that I played.
Those poor motherfuckers.
that. Those games are expensive.
Next on my list is one actually I do still have in my possession. It's Raw versus
Yep.
SmackDown 2000 for the PS2. And yeah, it was the first one.
Look at Vince's face.
I know, right?
Look at his angry.
And this would have came out right after the split, obviously, the brand split.
Yeah.
And so it was the first when they made Raw versus SmackDown from when that one all the way through 2011. So that was the first of its kind.
I used to like the drafts.
Yeah.
I did too.
Like, that
I
was the
enjoyed
funnest part.
Those are my favorites.
Yep.
You remember the which game was it with Ric Flair and Vince were both GMs?
Yep. Actually, that's
yes.
2006, I think.
Yeah,
That's
That
one.
is my. I don't even know where I fucking have it. It's way too low on my list.
Mine's on. Yeah,
It's
mine's
way
on.
too. It's on. That's the only game that's on all three of ours lists.
Yep,
That's cool.
that's
It's
fine.
2006, and yeah, most of my friends that like wrestling and wrestling games, like my buddy that gave me the code. So if you buy a PS5 version of WWE, be nice to your friends that are poor and have a PS4, and give them your code because you get a free digital download of WWE
That's
2K23.
awesome.
That is
23.
awesome.
So I got a 60-hour game for nothing.
Hell yeah.
Can't beat that.
I'm gonna pay for it some other way, I'm sure,
Right.
but
right.
for now, it's successfully on my hard drive, and it is very, very good.
Hell yeah.
But this game
Yes.
is popular amongst like all wrestlers.
Yeah, it is.
That's-
But Cena, Batista,
Yes.
those were the guys back then.
Yep.
They
That's
were.
when the draft. Everybody loves drafts. It's not
Sure.
just me.
I love
NFL,
drafts.
wrestling.
I love it. I
That's
enjoy
coming
it.
up soon. We'll have to do a draft episode
Yep.
We
because
will.
after Backlash, I would assume
I love
when all the storylines are
When they shift to next year.
yeah, May when they just fucking quit caring for my whole birthday month. Thank you. But anyway,
Yep. So I mean that's what I have here. It was the first game that had like the draft and that kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed all that. So that kind of makes it stand out. And it was the gameplay is great. I really enjoyed the THQ gameplay back in the day.
Mhm.
yep.
So yeah, that was a good one.
Why isn't AEW's game on your list?
I know. None of ours.
Oh,
Uh,
because it took 4 years to come out.
To come
Sorry.
out.
Is it even out yet?
No, sorry.
What game?
They've been talking about that since like the third Dynamite. We have a game coming.
It's
like,
coming.
By the time you guys are closed, you'll
Our
have one.
reaction is what game?
It's coming.
You know, it's funny. Cody Rhodes made WWE's new video game first.
That's kind of funny.
Suck on that, Tony Khan.
Right.
Next on my list, and a lot of you old school guys like myself remember this one, WWF WrestleMania 2000 for the Nintendo 64. It was the first
That's
game.
it?
That's it.
It was-
Yes, sir.
Dude, these were
Look at
so
the-
fucking hard to find like a picture of. I just wanted the box. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
care about the gameplay because
That's cool.
the box reminds me of what it was.
Yep, that was that year.
Excellent.
I remember
never,
that.
that is one game
2000.
console I have never played.
N64?
Never.
Oh, dude, I put the shit out of it
And
when I was
I-
a kid.
When I'm still on my quest to collect all of them, it's like $200 at the fucking flea market.
I know, it's
Like I,
expensive.
I,
They're
could,
ridiculous
like I could buy another
for the
four.
Yep.
Like I could buy a brand new 4 for $179. Like
I had
so
the.
I can't make myself
I get it.
because I want to play Pokemon Stadium.
Yep, that's fun.
For nostalgia.
I had that. Yep.
I might have played it a few times, but I never owned one.
Yep, I get it.
But
I had the Jungle Green N64,
Oh,
and I
God.
played the shit out of it. And this game was the
look how
first.
different Taker looked.
I know,
Oh,
right?
look at the difference.
That was before, right
That's
before
when
the
he was
American
in his, that was
Badass.
only
Is
when-
that Triple H?
that was
next to The Rock?
Undertaker in his early
Wow.
50s.
Yeah, right.
Is that Triple H by The Rock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the main
Lord.
event for this
Wow.
WrestleMania 2000 was the fatal four-way elimination match between The Rock,
Yep.
Triple H,
Wow, I
Mankind, and
can't
Big Show.
recognize Triple H.
And I don't think Taker was
he
even
even
there.
Triple H or was he Hunter Hearst?
He was
Helmsley?
Triple H at this
Okay.
Who's
point.
Triple H?
He was Triple H.
I'm like, who's that?
He had
He
just
came
married
in as
Stephanie.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley,
I
right?
remember that.
Oh yeah, he had just married Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Why would Vince not like? That's very long, an obnoxious name. Like,
Hunter
Hunter
Hearst Helmsley.
Like, what the fuck?
It's better than
sounds like a character on The Young and the Restless.
it's better than Terrorizer.
It
That was his
does.
first name.
Was it? Oh shit!
Wow.
His first name was Terrorizer.
Another
I like
fucked
Triple
up-
H
What was
better.
Stunning Steve Austin was a stupid one.
Yeah, yep.
We're just gonna call him Steve and let him
Steve.
stun people. Like,
Hey man.
I like Triple H better.
Yep, that game was a lot of fun. And on my list here, I just remember I really enjoyed the creative player mode for that game. And that was back when I had more time to do stuff like that. I was a kid. And so I just had a lot of fun creating wrestlers and playing them. One of my big ones, I still remember making one on there. He kind of looked like Kane, but I called him Spawn. And he was like white and black instead of black and red. And it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was a good one. Again, that was still pretty early. There wasn't a whole lot of different game plays or whatever, but just a lot of creative wrestlers and just random ass matches. But yeah, that's that match. And then moving on to WWE Shut Your Mouth for the PS2. This was one I probably played a shit ton as well. Yeah, had the Triple H on the cover.
Triple H, yep.
And I remember this one the most because I thought Triple H gave the best pedigree. From all the games that I played growing up through this one, that one, you could just fucking smash
yeah,
a bitch.
that's the one. There's Vince and
Oh,
Flair.
there you go. It's
There it
that
is,
one.
That's
yeah.
the one.
Gotcha.
That
That is the one.
Yep.
You're right.
Is Ed
That was my-
shaving Kurt
yep,
Angle's
he's
head?
shaving
Yep,
Kurt
I
Angle's
remember
head.
that. Yep.
Dude, I used to play the fuck. There's no
Josh
game.
did, yes.
There's no game I played the fuck out of
It
more
was
than
that
this game
one.
right
Same.
here.
I used to watch
Like,
him play it. Yeah, he did.
It could be the dub. Like you got to play the whole match card. Like
Yep.
that's what I like. Like you don't you'd pick a guy and you could only play their matches.
Yep.
But as it got progressed, it's like, oh shit, I can play the Dudley's versus Edge and Christian in the
Mhm.
ladder match.
Yep. It
And
actually
then
had a
play
season.
fucking Triple H in versus Brock in the main event.
Yep. And a 2-year is the first skin to have a 2-year season. So like you're wrestling, you're playing it for 2 years through their universe.
That's right, because they used to cut it after one, and you'd have to go to somebody else.
Yep. A lot of them was just like 2 WrestleMania. That's where it ended. It would start at like September and go to, whatever. But yeah, so that one had arguably that's the best game that they've made, especially for the PS2.
Yes.
Arguably. I know we all have different opinions and nostalgia, but arguably, and the gameplay was great. Like I said, Triple H gave the best fucking pedigree in that game. So, yep. And then my number one, and this one is going to be my favorite, and this is probably the one I played the most as a kid. I remember getting it for Christmas.
All your shit has The Rock on it.
Oh, because he was popular back then. But this was the very first wrestling game to have a ladder match, and it was the first wrestling game to go backstage. You
That's
could fight
awesome.
backstage and had a ladder match, all for the N64. And Creative Player was just as better than even the WrestleMania 2000. This came out after WrestleMania 2000, like the next year or whatever. And dude, it kicked ass. A lot of people liked it. I brought it to my friends, and we would play it, even though they didn't like wrestling, but we just like fight because it was fun,
Mhm.
And yeah, dude, I really liked the ladder matches. It was really hard as fuck. The ladder matches were.
Those are tough. Those are tough.
I'm not a fan of ladder matches in any WWE game.
Because they're so hard to do.
And I really liked the backstage because that was the first game you could do at stage. I really enjoyed just going backstage and beating the shit out of people, against like walls and.
Oh yeah, you could just walk around.
They just punch somebody for nothing.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I liked about. I think it was Shut Your Mouth. You could just walk backstage and talk to people. It's like I could start beef with Finley for no reason at all because he's standing by the popcorn machine.
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
Then Vince is right there. Then Coach is right there. And it's like you could just wonder. Then it's like, oh,
You just wonder.
then if you need you just go to the curtain.
Yep.
And that's when your match goes.
that's what I like about 2K19. You actually go into Triple H's office.
That's cool.
That's very cool. I always enjoyed that. But yeah, that's my list. That's probably the 5 that I played the most of growing up. But No Mercy will always have a place in my heart. I love that game so much. Played it nonstop when I was a kid. That's all I got. But I think my list does kind of age me a little bit. You can see where I grew up with.
No, not the 64.
No.
I even played the WWF Attitude on the 64 before that. And I think that was on for the PlayStation 1 as well, Attitude. There's one more that came out. I actually had a one for my regular Nintendo too that had like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker to date him. But yeah. Hell yeah. All right, Yvonne, I think you're up, girl.
Oh,
Anthony
Lordy.
gave us his.
Oh, hell
He
yeah.
also has the same number 1 as you.
Nice. There you
Number
go.
There you
5.
go.
Hell yeah, buddy.
His
There
is
you go.
WWE 2K14. 4, WWE Day of Reckoning for the GameCube.
Never played that one.
3, I had neither. I never had a GameCube either.
Me neither. Yeah.
WWE Here Comes the
It's
Pain.
classic. I had that one.
WCW versus NWO Revenge for the 64. And WWF
Classic.
No Mercy for the 64. It's a good list.
All good. Absolutely.
I never did fuck with the GameCube though.
I never had it.
Like I never owned one. I didn't have any friends that did.
Same.
I was always a PlayStation person
Right.
myself.
Same. I had the N64
I
and then
never
I
liked-
switched to the PlayStation after.
Like
that.
I didn't like the Xbox at
Same.
all.
Yep.
But
Same.
I'm still loyal to the PS to Sony, I guess.
I am too these days.
Spider-Man and PlayStation. I'm loyal.
Hell yeah. I get it.
All right, Yvonne.
Thanks for listening. I've heard Day of Reckoning is really good, so I would like to know about it. I just haven't never played
Maybe
it.
it'll be in the PlayStation store.
There you
You
go.
can play it on a real game console. Anyways, Yvonne, you ready?
Yep. Yep.
All right, 5.
Not surprised. Sorry.
You're allowed to like it, even though it got glitchy. You're allowed to like
I
it.
know. I put a different game down.
You're allowed to like it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I put 12 down instead because of that.
You told me to switch 5 and 1.
I did. I didn't want to hear people's comments about this, so.
There's not many comments.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what you like. You're allowed to like what you like.
The glitch, which I know is a big problem, so poor people comment. We know it was bad,
I
but
blame Becky Lynch.
I enjoyed.
I think this is probably the coolest.
I
cover.
actually enjoyed it, and
Yeah.
I liked the cover. Nothing stood out to me or anything, but just playing just the different superstars and
But one thing I liked I never played it, but one thing I did see online that you could do was you could like throw a shit ton of chairs in the ring at once.
you did.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
Well, this was. Yeah, I don't know what actually happened.
I don't either.
It just
really.
wasn't created well. It was too many glitches, and they just
Glitches.
couldn't fix
Because
it.
Yeah.
I know 2021 they said, "Oh fuck it, we're not going to do anything."
Right.
They had to rehaul everything.
Yeah,
they had to
so-
basically change out their engines and
It
stuff.
had a lot of potential.
Yeah,
It really did.
Right, it did.
2K put. I mean, it's an even year. 2K20.
Mhm.
Like
yeah,
they normally try to do big decade get
and
shit.
with two big stars like Becky and Roman on the cover, I mean,
lucky for them, COVID happened and people kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But nothing stood out to me. I enjoy. This is a game I know. I remember enjoying playing it, but we know the glitches. I mean, there's a good and bad in everything. So
I feel like it was just rushed in the game, and the
Yes.
developers kind of lied on what
and
they were
that
doing.
that won't help being rushed.
All right, so what the hell is your 4?
And everything else is fine.
AJ. Oh, you guys are so fucking.
Not
cool.
gonna add what Chuck already
It's
said.
phenomenal, bro.
It's phenomenal. I mean, he's one of my favorite wrestlers, so of course.
Do you
he's
ever
on it.
think you'd ever see
He's-
AJ Styles on the cover of a WWE video game when you're watching TNA?
Not back in 2009, I didn't. Nope. I would have sworn. I remember, in college telling people we will never see AJ Styles versus John Cena. So I would watch both shows, every week. We'd all watch them together, my buddies and I. Like that's my dream match right there. It's never going to happen. And then it did happen.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
I won't add to what Chuck said about this game, but I enjoyed it. I mean, Styles is on it, doing the Styles clash on everybody, and
Wasn't it the first game he was on?
I think.
think-
No, because he debuted in 16. We had like 2
16,
games.
yeah.
Time goes by too quick. I don't
And
fucking
two-
know.
I never played 17 or 18, but I assume he was on at least one of them. I'd have to assume, but I never played him.
My shitty memory, I can't tell you.
But that was, I thought that was kind of random because that was after his title reign. Even like, didn't he become champion in like 17?
Yeah, like not very long after he got there.
Yep,
He
pretty
started
quick.
feuding with Ambrose.
Yep, he did. You're
He
right.
did. I remember that.
That was his big rival.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Cena, then Ambrose, and him
Right.
feuded for a while.
Mhm.
Because hashtag beat up John Cena.
And hashtag Ellsworth.
Beat up John Cena.
Yeah, fucking Ellsworth. Ellsworth has 3-0 against Styles.
That guy's the worst.
Ellsworth should induct him into the Hall of Fame.
No.
I heard he's a pedophile now. So
Maybe
He,
not.
I could have told you he looks like one. I could have already told you that.
if you don't have a chin, you're probably a pedophile. That's just
Yeah.
how that works.
And just
Probably.
just his face, he already looks
That's
like
fair.
one. So I've known that. I couldn't watch him on TV.
All right. WWE 2K13. Bebe would appreciate that.
It's a good game.
As I was telling Chuck before we went on, big CM Punk fan, and I was very excited when this game. I enjoy playing Punk on this game. My lord.
And you had the Attitude Era.
Yeah, Attitude.
You had the Attitude Era. That was the game. What was it? The main quest? Not the
Mhm.
quest. What was one? The campaign
Yeah.
is an Attitude Era
Attitude Era.
campaign. So you play all the
Mhm.
all the classic matches like Mankind versus The Undertaker. You
Yep.
play The Rock versus
You had the
Triple
Road
H.
to
you play.
WrestleMania type of stuff, and
Like all of the matches that actually
Mhm.
happened, you recreate. You play those matches with the same stipulations, and it was a really cool campaign. I'm a sucker, like most of us are suckers for Attitude Era, so we all bought it. It did have CM Punk on the cover.
couldn't beat that.
I think that was the last wrestling game that I bought before 2K19.
It was and then this
And it was the last one from
It was.
THQ because after
it was,
THQ,
yep, I have that in my notes. Yep.
because after 13 it goes to 2K14, and that's when they sold it. And I think THQ went out of business.
In reading all these games, I've noticed some of these was nominated for awards, which I did not know that.
Nice.
So this one was nominated for the Spike Video Award, a game award for best individual sports game.
That's cool.
A lot of these games were nominated for stuff they didn't win, but
Hey, but to be
obviously
nominated,
not going to win. But
I mean, the video game industry is insane. There's so many
Mhm.
There's
games
tons.
and like a lot of good ones, and a lot of people have their own opinions and their their thing. I'm not a big gamer myself.
I'm not either.
I casually play video games,
Yeah,
but I'm not
same.
hardcore.
and this game had the special referee thing I used to like doing. Especially when me and Josh played him. I'm like, I'm gonna be the ref. I'm gonna cost. He's like, you're
Yep.
gonna be the ref. You're gonna cost me. You're gonna make me a champion.
Yep, I loved that
I loved
feature.
that.
Now I skipped the line.
That's how you do. Yeah.
I always loved that feature. I was really disappointed when they took that out. I'm pretty sure No Mercy had it. I could be
Mhm.
mistaken, but I know a lot of these PS2 ones had it, and I was really disappointed when they didn't have it anymore.
Yes.
That was a great fun feature. And one of my favorite things I'd always do, I'd create like you make your own storylines in your head when you're playing.
Mhm.
I created a wrestler actually on WWF No Mercy. I created a wrestler called The Ref, and he was just big and bulky, had a fucking like a beard, but he was ripped, had his
Can't beat that.
sleeves were cut off, but wearing the referee shirt, how back in the Attitude Era, they don't beat up the referees.
Yeah.
Can't beat
So
that.
in my imagination, Vince hired this referee so you
Mhm.
can't fuck with him until fuck back.
Right. Oh yeah.
And so like I'd always do that. We'll have him fuck with the referee, then the referee just takes him out,
Can't beat that.
and that was the whole thing. And then he became a wrestler. I also had another wrestler that I made on WWF No Mercy called the Guard. He was actually first called the McMahon Guard. He was just a big guy. He would always
Mhm.
protect Mr. McMahon, kind of like the Diesel with Shawn Michaels back in the day.
Mhm.
And then he just became the Guard because he turned on Mr. McMahon. But anyway, I'll stop with that. I go on for a while with my
Yeah.
12-year-old imagination.
Creating titles and creating superstars, that was always fun. And then creating you could change the arena setup and all that stuff. That was really fun to do.
Absolutely.
Like putting your own mindset to it. It was really fun. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Yep, absolutely. And you did have CM Punk, and he was fun to play as.
Back. He was fun. Go to sleep on people.
Yeah, I like that. The GTS. You know, he stole it from Okada, whatever the fuck.
Yep, he
did. All them nerds say, but
he sure did.
Everybody steals something from somebody. I mean,
That's true.
You only do so many moves, bro.
That is your number 2.
Chuck talked a lot about this one. Yep, this one is a game I did not actually play. This was a lot of these is memories Josh and I used to play, or I used to watch Josh play them. This was one I really.
This one.
He played the crap out of this one.
I used to beat up Hulk Hogan all the time because I fucking hated him.
Yeah.
I get it. I did that a lot with Triple H because I hated Triple H.
I just had 5 of them. I just had 5 of them over and over and over.
And then I think I did start playing it a little bit, but mostly I watched Josh play it because we used to play a lot of these when we were kids. But yeah, the drafts, all kinds of stuff. Edge shaving Kurt Angle. It was.
See, I think a lot of people will say,
crazy.
"Here Comes the Pain" is better. I disagree. I've always thought "Shut Your Mouth" was better.
I like this one.
It-
And the pedigree on Triple H, his move. I mean, great to do.
Just for whatever reason, just that gameplay, his pedigree was phenomenal. Like you
really
just see
good.
it. It looked like it hurt.
It did. I forget who I was on this game mostly. I forget this game who I was, but.
I always created wrestlers. My favorite wrestler that I've ever created is called The Orc, and he has been on every game that I've ever owned from No Mercy to current. Even on 19, I recreated for 19 because he's the Orc. He looks the same. I'm as close as I could, you know. The Org, he's my boy. If you ever see the Org online, you can like play with other people's wrestlers online and shit, can't you? If you ever see the Org on there, you know I created him. He's got blue hair. But
Number 1.
Number 1, yep. Chuck
That's the best picture I
there
can
you go.
Chuck already showed
you have the hardcover right here.
Going from my number 2 to number 1, this was the one, my first one I played by myself. The other one, Josh did, but I'm sure we played this one together too. But this one, the draft, everything about it. I mean, Batista, John Cena. I used to love doing the draft, all of that stuff. Everything Chuck said, that's how I feel about this game.
That picture's terrible.
And I think it was the first, correct me if I'm mistaken, because it could have been a year earlier, but I think it was the first game to be online, to like introduce online on the PS2, which is fucking crazy to think about. But I'm pretty sure that, because it even says online broadband only. And I don't think the other ones before that had online options. I remember trying to play it online. I couldn't figure it out because we didn't have the right internet. But I could be mistaken. It could have been a year prior or 2 years prior. But I think it was this. I think Raw versus SmackDown 06 or SmackDown versus Raw 06 was the first online wrestling game. I could be lying. I'm wrong a lot.
The GM mode, it was fun. And anything to do with drafts, count me in. I enjoyed it. Drafting people to your own shows and very fun.
Hell yeah.
And this was one of the games I enjoyed the most because the first one I actually played. And I'm like, crap, I gotta learn it. Like these matches are tough. I gotta learn it.
Gotta learn it.
Like Josh, give me a lesson on this.
Well, it's like every fucking game.
Yes.
If I do have a complaint, you have to change the way you strike and shit. Like they always change the controls. Like they could just leave them alone.
Yep. I remember, because I remember back in the day it was the X, then turned into the square.
Yeah,
for
now
striking.
it's fucking like square, left trigger, hold R3 up, and it's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yep. That was the kind of guy I'd play him all year till I get the new one, and then so I'd be used to the old controllers still. Good list, Yvonne.
Yeah, my best with memory with these for sure.
I like it.
Yeah, my memory sucks. So I went last.
That's. I should have went last because mine.
WWE 2K22.
Brand new.
I was just excited they had made a fucking game that worked. So, I hate Rey Mysterio. I hope his son destroys him and then he actually retires. But I was so fucking excited that a game worked that was wrestling, and it was really, really good. And I literally it's in my top 5 because it worked. I went 2 years at a fucking wrestling game.
That's cool.
And they made one that worked.
Can you do the chairs and stuff? Like, can you put all the chairs in the ring?
Yeah, you can still do that.
That's cool. I want to do that.
I mean, that's literally just because, hey, wrestling games are back.
Hell yeah, I get it.
Hated the cover.
And I feel like they had to do a good job because they knew they had to.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
this is the one to buy because they know they cannot fuck it up.
Right.
Or Vince is going to fucking murder them. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Here's my shitty picture again. But Chuck has the original copy over there.
Yep, he sure does.
Pretty much, I'm not going to be redundant. They've said everything that I've pretty much said for it. A 3. I mean, redundancy again.
I'm surprised we all had shut your
did.
mouth because that's one that I just thought I'd be more solo on. That's really cool.
Yeah, I played the shit out of this.
You did.
I think I've said that 5 times. Take a shot every time I say. Josh says, I played the shit out of this. You'll be wasted by the time we're off air. All right. Here's some different ones. The first one.
Oh, classic.
So I played the hell out of this one too. It was just pixels fighting each other. Now that I look back at it,
Sure.
But the graphics are fucking terrible. But it's a nostalgia thing. It's the first wrestling game. I remember playing this all the fucking time.
That's cool. What I remember from that game the most, it was when it opened up, it had the real SmackDown intro on it, like from the show.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
It was a fun game. It was my first introduction to wrestling video games.
Yep, I never owned that one, but I played it with my buddies a lot.
Now, Chuck just said there's people that claim that Here Comes the Pain is better than SmackDown vs. Raw. I am that guy, and it was better. So
fair enough.
That is my number one.
I remember that.
That is my number one.
Brock Lesnar, I remember that.
You walk around the stadium as Brock Lesnar.
Do you love my clever Photoshop? Because I couldn't find a picture, so I put PS2 right there.
I like it.
Can't beat that.
Classic.
That took me at least 45 seconds the other night.
That's awesome.
But yeah, the gameplay was, I think it was the best gameplay of games that, I don't know, I feel like it was way better than the previous one. Yep. Brock Lesnar was fucking
a beast.
Triple H's pedigree. Brock Lesnar's F5 in that game.
Yeah,
like he would not do, you had the option to like firmly F5 them where they land directly beside you.
Or you slap
you
it
can
up.
F5 them, they fucking fly halfway across the ring.
Yep.
And then he did his 3 Germans. I mean, the game was great. Brock was the fucking man.
He was.
These years are why Brock can do whatever the fuck he wants to now. Because he was so fucking big when he first came in.
For 2 years, he was, and then that was it. Like he was really big for 2 years, and he was gone for like 6.
Yeah. Well, he kept getting bigger outside. Like,
right,
he was a UFC champion. Right. It's like, oh, Brock Lesnar was a wrestler. It's like, no shit. Like now he's back.
Yep.
Fighting Omos, just what he wanted to do with WrestleMania.
Right.
Oh boy, I do agree. And actually, I was much shit about Brock Lesnar. You're not wrong with the F5 in the video games. I still use it. The org, his signature in the org is the F5.
The F5's a pretty devastating. And it was always my secondary.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Like I'm gonna create a guy on a 2K, the new one, whenever fucking I quit playing story mode, and I'm gonna have his to where I F5 him. That way he lands on their stomach, and then I'm gonna stomp him. It'll be my finisher. That way
the F5 stomp,
and then I'll just stomp them as they're already down in their face.
Hell yeah, I like that.
And then I'll do the crippler cross face and take him. Never mind. Different.
Yeah, dude, that's what the org's his finisher is the Unprettier, or actually it's called the Impaler, but then Christian used it as the Unprettier. But then his signature secondary is the F5. That's what's up. I like it. I love talking about fucking creator wrestlers. It's so much fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, I've had some weird ones over the years. I'm going to create one in 2K23 to join the Maxim Mail model since they never responded to me on Twitter.
God. There you go. I like it.
But they did Otis's though. They responded.
Yeah.
they like Otis.
That shit's thirsty over Otis. But I mean, he also had Mandy Rose by the.
Yeah, he
so
did.
Otis got game.
You didn't need the OnlyFans for that.
Was OnlyFans a thing back then?
Oh, I assume so. I don't know.
I guess that main roster money is life changing because she didn't give a fuck back then. Now she's on the NXT. She's like, yeah, I need money, bitch. I ain't got time.
Mandy Rose is back?
No.
Oh,
I mean, but when they told her take your shit down or leave. She's like, bye.
Right.
But I feel like on the main roster, she probably had the same thing, or she didn't even have to do it because main roster money apparently is that much bigger.
I mean, it's probably. I mean, for how much you can make, I bet you she's. I mean, because she has. There's no travel. You know what I mean? Like there's just her posting news on the internet and getting paid handsomely for it.
The minimum base salary of a main roster, according to Triple H, answers this question in an actual interview at tryouts, $250,000.
250 is the minimum.
That's the minimum your contract's going to be.
Right.
That's the lowest.
And when she was pretty high profile, so I'm sure she was making more than that, obviously, because she was like the main event of the women at a certain point in time.
All right, so developmental contracts for NXT range from 50 to 150,000 a year, and the average base is 80. So it's literally 3 times higher. So getting to the main roster, obviously you do want to make it a big deal. It is
it's money.
You're jumping to a bigger audience, mainstream, like
sure.
the show. You're fucking here. So that makes sense.
Sure.
That would make sense why people want to go to NXT, get their feet wet, then get the fuck up to the main roster.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's 3 times more. Interesting. I guess Mandy Rose must be going poor because I couldn't live off 80,000 a year. Anyways.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I like this category a lot. Video game.
Mhm.
We all know. We all play
Next
it.
week, all shit hits the fan.
Oh yeah. All
Yep.
business
We got
next
Del
week.
Rio,
Yeah.
we got Bebe, we have like fucking at that point might have 20 matches to break down. So
No top 5 next week.
Yeah,
It's all WrestleMania.
these
All
cute
WrestleMania.
45-minute podcasts are over next week. At least the next 2 weeks. We
Right.
have,
Then we have the Fallout.
Serious business
we got
next
WrestleMania.
week. Yep.
where we have to talk about the 14 matches leading up to
Yep.
it. Then Fallout, where we have to break down every fucking match.
Yep.
And outside the 2 fatal 4-ways, I think I do care about every match else.
Yeah.
I only care about Charlotte's because I want her to lose.
Yeah.
Well, that match should be good anyway because
It
Ray
will-
is
it will
awesome.
be.
And that's got a long story because they
Right.
fought in the
Story
COVID
time.
Mania.
I wish it wasn't the main event, but I'm interested in the match itself.
Yeah.
Bianca and Asuka is probably the most underwhelming, but
Yeah, I agree.
as long as Asuka wins, I'm cool with it because Bianca.
It's time for title
her-
changes.
she's
in
had the belt for
women's.
over a year.
Yes, I agree.
I'm very curious about the Roman Cody ending. Chuck's philosophy about they all win or they all lose is very interesting.
Yes, it is.
We'll see.
We'll see what goes on.
So we got a week to sit on it. We got Bebe and his perspective. Always changing my fucking mind.
I know, like he did.
He's good talking.
And Del
He is
Rio
good.
just at our fucking podcast in a bunch of groups and get us blocked. So at everyone, RSH. And then we all,
They don't get past at us.
No,
Who
we'll
the fuck's RSH?
we'll get canceled.
Again,
But
probably.
now we've been a lot better behaved the last few weeks.
Yeah, I agree. I've been a lot less
After
drunk.
our little sabbatical, we came back.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
Yeah.
less F bombs and
Like I
nothing.
said, enjoy these short ones for now because it's picking up now.
Next week's gonna be
Then
long.
we're going to get the Raw after, because not even on top of that, all the reports I'm reading are Triple H has huge plans for the Raw.
So I gotta
the
watch that one
after
live.
the Raw after Mania. He said he has shit tons of plans.
It's always a big one. And Triple
Well,
H is
except
about
last
that
year.
life.
Last year we got one. Let's see if you guys remember. Last year we got one new roster member. Do you guys remember who that one new roster member was?
Last
It
year
was the
after
most
Mania,
underwhelming Raw after Mania ever.
I don't remember.
It was Ezekiel,
Ezekiel. Yep.
Elias's
Ezekiel.
younger brother.
That's all we
That
got.
was the guy we got last year.
That's
That was
all we
the
got.
only fucking.
It's like
call.
Ezekiel Jackson from the Cowboys.
No.
oh,
No, Ezekiel Jackson was the ECW champion.
that's right. That's right. That's
He
right.
was a wrestler.
That's right. I get them all
Ezekiel
mixed
Jackson
up.
played for the Cowboys.
That's
It
all
might
right.
not be. He might have won in the last 20 years.
I forgot that's right. Ezekiel Jackson.
No, like, yeah, it
remember
was
him.
just Ezekiel, and it was KO. Like, you're Elias, and like
Yeah.
that's what happened. And
Yep.
everybody was like,
Mhm.
it was the coolest part of Raw. And Ezekiel was fine,
He
but the
was
fact
fine.
that was the coolest part of the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
It was a big mania too. Like, it was very good mania last year. So you think you'd expect more from that.
What was last year? 2022.
Yes.
All right, Raw after Mania. All right, let's see. I don't want to fucking see their ratings.
Who cares
Care
about
their
ratings?
viewership? Fucking, oh my god, this is not what I googled. Google, do you sometimes just not listen?
Yeah, it does. It's his favorite thing.
Like that is not. Oh, Raw after WrestleMania 2022 is a complete fucking flop. I mean, there you go, right on the headline.
The internet
It was
agrees.
bad. It was very bad. Yeah, it was horribly bad. Ezekiel was the only thing we got.
Gotcha.
That it was.
It's not even Ezekiel anymore. Now we're back to Elias. he had injured. He's gone.
Dude, if they do that again, like, hey, Ezekiel's back because Elias has suddenly disappeared again.
I think Triple H is more in tune, and Triple H likes this
I
kind
hope
of
so.
stuff. Well, he respects the traditions of the business, so I think
Oh, here we go.
he'll go all
Here's
out.
what happened the night after.
But I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, okay. Cody Rhodes comes out. It was his first, Raw, whatever, because he came back.
Oh
to
yes,
Mania.
he did come out. That's right.
Roman Reigns will be on Raw. RK Bro took on RK Bro teamed with Finn Balor to take on the Usos and Austin Theory. Belair cut a promo. Naomi and Sasha defended their tag titles against Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan.
There's that Liv Morgan name
And
again.
then
Always in the tag team.
and they lost.
Always in something.
And Liv took the pin.
Like she always does. Sorry, no disrespect, but she does.
Ezekiel freaked out Kevin Owens.
I do remember that.
The Miz fought Rey Mysterio or Dominic and lost.
The Miz.
Oh,
fought-
Dominic was currently teaming with Rey at this
Right.
point.
There we go. Yeah.
Miz and Logan Paul beat the Mysterios at WrestleMania 38, and the Miz turned on Logan Paul after the
Yep,
match.
they did. Yep.
They referenced that. Roman Reigns. They announced again Roman Reigns will appear. We get it.
Oh, I forgot that the Miz did that. to Logan Paul.
He
and now he's
did.
trying to be friends with him. That makes no
I know,
sense.
It makes
Yeah.
no sense.
I forgot about
Becky
that.
Lynch made Bianca look like that
Yeah, she
last
did.
year at Mania.
She did. Yep.
And then
That's rough.
That is.
Oh, Braun Breaker fought Dolph Ziggler randomly on Raw. NXT champion
did.
Braun Breaker.
Wow.
And then he got beat up by Robert Roode at the end of the match. So not only call up your next big thing,
Right.
you have him beat Ziggler and then get beat up by Robert Roode. It's not even his real fucking name.
Right.
That's
I miss Bobby.
Bobby Roode.
I do
Okay.
too.
That
Well,
dude
he has
is
some big
glorious.
surgery,
He
so
is
he'll
definitely.
be back.
He's definitely going.
Maybe that's what they have planned for after.
Dude, if he
You're not
comes
big of
back,
a
he's
popular.
glorious.
He's definitely coming back. So you know where Pete Dunne's been?
Uh-uh.
He's coming back as not
Dunne.
Butch. Yeah.
Cool.
So they pulled him off. He's not even the Brawling Brute.
Just gonna let him be.
Yeah.
Then,
They're
person.
transitioning him right back to Pete Dunne.
Cool.
So he's gonna come out and
That
break
makes sense.
somebody's
Break
fucking
him.
fingers.
People's fingers. Yep.
I
Yeah.
like that.
That was that. And then MVP turned on Bobby Lashley
Oh,
that
wow.
night.
Oh boy.
MVP. Oh, he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
All right.
then Graves made out with Carmella.
Nice. Good for him.
At the announce table.
Like, she's not. She's a hottie.
The 6-man tag was the main event. Austin Theory and the Usos won. Edge beat AJ Styles
Yeah.
at Mania with a distraction from Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Edge cut a promo.
That's when
Style,
they were
yeah, they were
feuding.
still
Yep, I
feuding.
remember.
Fucking Street Profits beat Alpha Academy. This is a very underwhelming Raw after Mania, though.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns cut a promo, and it led to nothing except acknowledge me, and that there was no cliffhanger.
Just
And it
acknowledge
ended
it.
with all them and their fingers up.
Just
And then
doing the
everybody
ones.
hated it.
Just doing the
It got
ones.
1 star according to that website.
Wow.
Well,
So
I mean,
Triple H has big plans, so it
He
can't be
does.
worse.
no, I
Can't
agree.
be any
It can't be any worse.
Like if you get a fucking NXT call up, so probably Mello or Breaker,
Yeah,
whoever loses
right.
that match, Grayson Waller could be coming up. They
Yep.
could take the Gargano thing to the main roster. There's multiple women down there that's been ready,
Like Indy.
and there's
Yeah.
free agents that
Yep.
they're still talking to. So
Yeah, right. There's
the Jay White motherfucker didn't appear at the Rumble.
He did.
He's sitting out there, him confronting Seth or
Seth.
costing Seth the Logan. I mean, I guess they're familiar with each other.
Oh, fair enough.
So
Yeah.
like something like that.
Yeah.
Logan Paul wins, but Jay White. Seth. That's what we're going with. So we'll see.
We'll
Maybe
see how it goes.
I don't know if we'll get a Jay White thing. They'll have to be very. I think he should go through NXT.
Hopefully, we
first.
get an NXT.
I know he's like the
person.
greatest New Japan wrestler ever, but
Yeah, I don't care.
the WWE audience has no fucking clue who he is.
That's one thing I wanted to bring up with you. Did you see it on Twitter? I saw it on Facebook, but it was a screenshot from Twitter from Raj, who's been on the show. And it was he commented about how he is tired, or not tired of it. He just wishes that AEW would explain who some of these wrestlers are, because not everybody knows all of the wrestlers from all over the goddamn world.
Right.
But we're watching AEW, as AEW is the second largest wrestling company in the world, arguably has a TV deal. So maybe we should explain
He's
them.
right. He's right.
And all the people fucking, well, maybe you should research it. Why should I research it? I'm watching your show.
Yeah. So
Right,
when
right.
WWE does these
Right.
Bronson Reed vignettes for 4 weeks, it's showing you what he's done and like, hey, he kicks ass. Like at least give you something. AEW is like, hey, this is Takeshi Kayamba from New Japan.
He's awesome.
He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight John Moxley in the Hell Dungeon of Doom match for the interim SmackDown Raw AEW championship.
And he's gonna bleed to death.
Did
so.
you see that women's match that was so bad that they pulled it from YouTube? Like Tony Khan went after a Twitter account to have it yanked. It was Anna Jay and Britt Baker missing punches for like
Ooh.
3
It's
minutes.
embarrassing.
And the dude tweeted back at Khan and said, I have more. So
Wow.
all the live fan footage from that house
It's
show
gonna be thrown
they're-
on there.
Khan.
Oh, the one from Troy.
Yeah.
I wanted to go
It
to
was
that.
like,
Man.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that
and
show.
like you couldn't. My buddy Tim texted me like 5. Like, hey, you want to go? What? I was like, what time to start? He's like 7. I was at Roosters. I was like, I gotta go home, shower,
Yeah.
change, drive. Like,
I thought
if you
about
would have
going,
told me at 2,
right?
I could have prepared myself. But like,
Wow.
no.
My
I didn't go.
sister's birthday was on,
and I didn't want to
Saturday.
fucking go. Like, oh, I get to hear a wild thing and carry on my way.
Well, they weren't
Yeah.
there. No, the big guys weren't there.
Oh,
It was
so
like,
what the fuck would I want?
it was
Was
just-
MJF there?
I don't think so.
I think
What
it
the
was.
fuck? No wonder they was giving away free tickets.
It was just all like small people. It was just like a little wrestling show.
I would have been pissed if I would have went.
Yeah, there was like
Where's
nobody
your
been
dad?
there.
He ain't coming to Troy, Ohio.
I would have thought John Moxley would have been there because he lived so close, but he wasn't.
I figured.
Yep.
That's
It
all
was
we
just-
heard when he came here with WWE. He's like the hometown guy. Oh, he ate at BJ's before. It's like, who cares? Like, okay.
Dude's got to eat
It's
somewhere.
Right down the street.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally right down the road from the Nutter Center.
I bet he's been to the fucking Hollow Casino too.
I'm sure he has.
So-
And have you been to Dick's Sporting Goods at the Tri-County Mall?
oh boy.
Fuck you, man, bro.
Now he's got to think now.
That's awesome. But yeah, so next week will be a huge show.
Next
The week
week's
after
loaded.
will be also a huge show. So
Next
be
week
excited. Bring
is-
your drinks, bring your beers, bring
This
your
is our
whiskeys.
Super Bowl.
It is.
This is
It's
what
our
we
Super
podcast
Bowl,
for.
yeah.
This is and now it's 2 nights, which is the greatest thing that ever come
All
from COVID.
business goes down next week.
That's the best thing that came from COVID. 2-night mania.
I go back and forth. I kind of wish it was
I cannot
just,
watch 14 matches in one day.
Yeah, I just wish it was
all
all on Saturday night because Sundays, I'm just too old for Sundays now. So I really like Saturdays. So I wish they would just. I go back and forth, but you're right. It's long, 14 matches, and even if you go there live, that'd be unbearable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'd rather just start at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Just get me my beer, my pizza,
And at 2 a.m.
yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot of fucking pizza.
yeah, like whatever. Now my problem, I just get too drunk and forget the last half of it.
That's
So it's a give and take. I go both ways. I go both sides of it, but I'd rather it be
loaded, baby.
Saturday.
Be ready.
Yep.
Be
And
fucking ready.
Del Rio be ready as well.
I ain't worried about Del Rio.
Be ready.
He has people bullying him before he gets on here.
That's
He
a
does.
good
He
point.
came on last time. I was like, damn it, dude. They keep yelling at me on my group. It's my group. And I was
His
like,
own
They give
group.
me shit.
check him fucking out. Like,
With a hammer down.
yeah,
Yep,
be
cool.
fun.
Hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. And if you didn't, fuck you and play them video games because they're awesome. And we will be here next week live in the 6 o'clock time period. I don't fucking know. Whenever we go on. When you see us live, that's when we're live.
I'll schedule it for 6:30, but we'll go on between 6 and 6:30.
That's been our huge. And yeah, so be sure to be here next week and be sure to be here with your predictions. Hit us up in the chat. Let us know what you think is going to happen. We're all going to be wrong, but just let us know what you think. And until next time, friends and family and enemies, continue to fear regularly scheduled